name is Siobhan, and I lead ostomy education here at Better Health. I have an ostomy myself, so I am very familiar with the ins and outs and ups and downs of daily living with an ostomy. One of my jobs here is to be a coach to people who are new to ostomy, whether they have recently had surgery or will be having surgery very soon. So I'm here with my friend Duncan. And Duncan, you have an issue that's coming up. You just recently had surgery, right?
Yes, I did. And hi, Siobhan. I'm having problems with leaks under my barrier. I change it once or twice a day, but what's causing these leaks?
Duncan, let me reassure you that these leaks are very common. I've had my fair share of leaks, and there are a couple of things that we can do to troubleshoot the problem that you're having. So let me walk you through that. Does that sound good? Okay. Fantastic. So today I have with me our anatomical training model. This is, for short, we call him Fred. Fred has a stoma. So Fred has a healthy stoma right here. Fred is also a training model, so he has some examples of some unhealthy stomas. So just disregard those and focus on the healthy stoma right here. So the very first thing that might be causing your problem, Duncan, is that your barrier may not be fitting close enough to your stoma. Oftentimes, if that barrier isn't close enough, that output can kind of make its way under the barrier edge and make your skin irritated, and it feels very uncomfortable. It will also make your barrier last not as long as you would like it. So when you're putting on your barrier, you want to make sure that that barrier is very close to the edge of the stoma, not choking it, because you don't want to cause a whole host of problems in that direction. But when you put the barrier on, you want to make sure that it's centered and within about 1/8 of an inch to 3 to 5 millimeters away from the stoma itself. Now, another thing that you should be aware of when you're troubleshooting leaks is that sometimes you just don't have the right barrier on. Sometimes it can be, we call it, sometimes people have challenging anatomy. So a challenging anatomy means that there's just, bumps and creases, just normal human body stuff. Maybe an incision, I have one that interferes with my own barriers. So if that's the case, you may want to try a flexible barrier like this. Some barriers are more rigid, some barriers are very flexible and can kind of fold a little bit, and make sure that they kind of work their way in underneath this, in this little valley that's created by the skin.
I see.
Great. So let's talk about another troubleshooting tip. One way to get a more even surface that you can use to apply your barrier is by adding on either ostomy paste, which is what I have an example of here, and just creating a line around it. That ostomy paste will create a flexible seal and will keep the output from making its way into the barrier, kind of like the caulking in your shower. And then alternatively, if you don't prefer ostomy paste, another option is something called a barrier ring. So I have two examples, this one and this one. And this one is for, stomas that may not be round, they're more oval or maybe even irregularly shaped. And these would go around the stoma, and you kind of warm them up with your fingers, you kind of apply them sort of like a paste. And that will do the same job as the paste and create that flexible seal.
So the shape matters, the type of barrier matters, and maintenance matters.
Absolutely. And if you are having a lot of leaks, that can break down the skin a little bit. And so you want to make sure that as soon as you identify that you are having those leaks and you can identify what the problem is, you want to start taking care of that, because it can be very hard to get a barrier to stick to red irritated skin, like you can kind of see in this, in these two examples.
Oh, great. Thanks, Siobhan. That's good information.
It's my pleasure, Duncan. For more information, tips, and guidelines about troubleshooting ostomy issues, stay tuned to the series or go to www.joinbetter.com.